Hello, everyone. We were told that we were 10 seconds early, so I'm starting at 59:50. My name is John Oxenford. This is Michael Koran, and I am a guest of Michael's show, Aha, A Human Amongst Humans. And we are here to talk about emotional stuff, real stuff.
Wow, real and emotional.
Yeah.
All the. Well, I wanted to. I think John hasn't read this one yet.
I looked through it in the email.
Oh, good.
But if you want to read it, go ahead.
Or okay, or maybe both of it. I wanted to also contribute to your dramatic success.
Sure. And this poem for me, if I'm to be honest, is a little bit out of. I don't know if I agree with the message. I don't know if I like it.
Great.
But I am interested in Take Not On. So I'll give it a listen.
And maybe you can read some of the lines again if you want.
Sure.
It's called Please Call Me by My True Names. And I wanted to read this poem in relation to the wars that are going on, like between Palestine and Israel or Ukraine and Russia.
Okay.
Please call me by my true names. Let me try to say it again, teach myself grammatically, because I read it rather than felt it. Please, wow, is there a difference? Please call me by my true names.
I felt that.
Get to know me. You want to try?
Yeah, sure. Just the title? The
Yeah, just the title for starters.
Please call me by my true names.
I can hear it. Yes, I can get it.
I felt a little exasperated with that. Like, why didn't you call me by my true name?
Yes.
Michael?
John
Joshua William Oxenford.
Thank you for helping. John Joshua Williams Oxenford.
Is that the S?
Now, does that, I'm not sure that has a, I've gotten it right though. Because it didn't have the same feeling as this.
Oh, you said Williams instead of William.
Oh, William. John, these are great meanings, these names.
Really?
John means from the Hebrew Yohanan, that you embody the grace of the universe.
That's amazing.
Joshua
Yeah.
is what was Jesus' name in Hebrew. He's never called Jesus.
That's amazing.
And Joshua means he who will save us.
Oh, that's good.
Look at these names.
I like to save people.
William, I believe, means, I'm not sure of this, master of the home.
That'd be good for my apartment.
Yep.
Make it look a little better.
And Oxenford is probably means that you can take these oxen who really make food that we can eat, and you are able to get across the river with them.
That's so cool. That's sort of something that'll just play in the back of my mind and just have a really good day one day, just thinking about my names. I was thinking, I just wrote a note before I walked here. I was just writing a note. I was a little bit stressed at where I was living. Just looked at my apartment and it felt like such a mess. It's not terribly messy, but it's not the way I want it to be. And just sat down and I wrote a note. It said, the appearance of my apartment is how I feel about the environment around me. And then I started thinking, a state of my state of emotions or how my mind is feeling, and just how stress can show up in your life. You know, if you've got that coming from somewhere close to you, you know, maybe I was reading my mother's book, Back to the Source by Rosemary Oxenford, plug in, and
nice title.
Yeah, thank you. One of her characters is a father, but he's also an alcoholic, and his children, his alcoholism affects his children. And I was just thinking about how I can sort of look in my life and look at things that I might not really like about my life and just wonder where is that coming from, so I can hopefully disconnect from the stress or the negativity and improve my life.
What would be one specific example?
I think not in not having my apartment be reflected by how I feel where I live. You know, maybe trying to connect with it emotionally and have that emotional connection to my apartment, treat myself better.
Well,
I was just talking to my doctor and a therapist I've been talking to for a while, and I mentioned you and Anthony, just sort of getting out of my mind and getting into my body, you know, with emotions, and he was totally into that. And I'm kind of a person who doesn't really have very many emotions. It's pretty much all mental, so that's a goal of mine.
yeah. Yes, I live in a messy apartment with a roommate to boot. Two small rooms, not two rooms and two people. He moved in for a month over 6 years ago. And he's been here ever since. He might be moving into, he's probably going to be moving into the building you're living in.
Oh yeah, you told me that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
6th floor. What floor do you live on?
Oh, I know someone on the 6th floor. I live on the 4th.
And you like the building, yes?
Yeah, I do. It's really nice to just have this sort of next level of independence, because I was living in group homes before that.
Wow, what a difference.
There's
These are
huge
group homes
difference,
for people who are challenged, right?
Yeah, I was able to live there because I was struggling with mental illness, and I was in recovery, which is also ironically how I got my job as well. Plug in the NAN project. We speak to students about our recoveries through mental illness and how to spot that out and get help as soon as possible. So yeah, and you know, it's sort of I don't know, a double-edged sword. You know, I have to struggle with difficulties in the mind, but at the same time, I had, you know, group homes, a place to live. I have my apartment. I have a job. You know, so something maybe to be thankful of sometimes, and sometimes just have to deal with it when you get the struggles.
What a difference. And how long did you live in the group home?
I lived in one in Somerville for 4 years, and then one here in Central for 4 years.
Wow. Did you miss the community, growing up, living with other people?
That's interesting. It's definitely you definitely, you know, crossing paths with people a lot more. You know, you share a bathroom.
Yes, you talk, you have conversations, I guess.
Yeah. The one in Somerville, we shared a kitchen, so
Yeah.
we'd all write what kind of food we wanted, and then they'd go and get us what they could, and we'd kind of feed off of each other's menus there. But I still know 2 or 3 people who I met through the group home in Cambridge, and I recognized someone the other day. I said, hey Tony, how you doing? And so, you know, I've got friends from that. And I've got social interaction from that. So
Are they? Is it just people your own age? Is it both sexes or?
yeah, it was going from all ages. Probably, I don't know how young it could be, but there were some people who were much older than me.
Wow.
And it wasn't, you know, only males, only females. You know, it was just whoever got that place on the list.
Wow. Do people fall in love?
Possibly.
Oh, but you didn't know. You didn't.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
And didn't. And they were. Do you have your own room?
Yeah, we all had our own room. We shared a bathroom. One we shared a kitchen, and the other one we had our own fridge. I actually did have a romantic night with the woman who I met. The first day I was in the one in Somerville, I was actually coming from recovery in hospital, and we just saw each other and just kind of clicked, you know. Yeah, and sadly now she's not with us. So rest in peace Melissy. But For the time I did know her, we were always telling jokes and
Wow.
good friends. Yeah.
So it sounds like you like the group homes.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, it doesn't sound it didn't sound totally convincing, but
it wasn't 100%. I mean, I would say that it wasn't 100%, but I did grow through them, and it helped me keep social and not isolate myself.
yes.
Which can be a symptom of mental illness or depression, anything like that. And I was I had a lot of supports there. If I needed to do some paperwork, I'd just go down to the office and talk to my social worker who lived there, our social worker. So a lot of good things, but just to be able to be more independent now with my own place. It's just going on to the 4th year now of my own apartment. It's just it's a wonderful feeling comparatively.
Wow. What a change.
A little bit of stress when you don't have someone you can just go down the stairs to and help me recertify for housing, but I do have social workers who can help me with that kind of thing from VinFens.
I think I'll miss my roommate when he lives in
Really?
in the same apartment you're in.
Yeah.
I assume it's the same. It's right on Putnam and Mount Auburn, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll try to.
And what is it like? You don't have to answer any of these, and we can change the subject.
Sure.
But what? I'm just asking what springs to mind. What was? I'm an expert myself, alas, on these things. What was mental illness like?
I think it was really bad for me from about 18 to 21. And I was also involved in substance abuse, so that didn't help. And so I was antisocial. I was slowly just getting more and more antisocial. And I sort of stopped. I made this kind of fictional world where I thought everything was a program based around numbers, and I was just some sort of experiment kind of thing. And
oh, so that was wow. So you weren't like a human among humans.
No.
Wow.
It's funny you mentioned that. I mean, we're on the show, but you mentioned that this show has been very therapeutic for me.
Great.
And,
that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To learn to be humans among humans.
Yeah.
So that was you came out of that, and you can talk about it.
Yeah.
What helped you out?
Well, I mean, actually, it got so bad that at the end of 21, I attempted suicide.
When you were 21?
Yeah, when I was 21. And sort of woke up in hospital and had to recover and just realized, my mother was there for me, my friends were there for me, my family was there for me. And these doctors were saying that they could help, and before I thought they couldn't, and look what happened. So I started accepting this help and slowly being able to trust it, and it started to help me.
And what was an example of one moment of significant help?
Yeah, well, there's this doctor, I hope she doesn't mind me saying her name, but Jennifer, sorry, I shouldn't say first name, but Dr. Greenwald. And she listened to me when I was with what I was saying with the reactions I was having to the medications I was on, and she trusted that I was being honest, and I was being honest, and so we went through different medications until I finally found ones that worked, and she believed that, and we found the amount I needed to be on then, and then I needed a bit of help at another level, so this medication really helped for that, and she just trusted that I was really being honest with her, and so I found medications that help me through every day now. I remember my mother and I were at a talk with some Harvard students at Harvard Medical, the Harvard Medical building, and we're talking to some youth who will be in the profession, and we were just saying, it's so important for your doctor to work with you instead of kind of say, oh, okay, I'll have you on this medication if you're off it, you go to hospital. Not sure if it gets that bad all the time, but that was that, you know, something that really helped.
So it must be lovely to experience the world now and not just being yourself. Is that true?
It's getting better. I think, you know, I was, you know, we both know Alex, my friend since preschool, and you know Alex. And I was developing, last 3 years I kind of developed a fear of the night, a fear of being outside anytime after 6 p.m. or something.
Thank you for coming to the show, which starts at 6. I'm blessed.
Well, it's been helping. It's really been helping.
Wow.
This show has really been helping. And Alex, he's just said, you know, there's this comedy show that I do tickets for, and it's just down the road, 10 minutes walk from you, and it goes from 7:30 to 9:30. He said, will you come? And at first I said, sure, and then I said no, and then I said, no, I don't think I can do it, and then I said, well, it's just down the road, I have my medications on me, and he said, you know, if you're feeling freaked out, you can leave, and I just walked there and had a great night and no symptoms at all. So,
wow. If you go again, let me know. If I'm free, I'm interested.
yeah, it was good comedy too.
Wow.
That'd be good to have you there.
Hear what people are saying.
Yeah, so and tomorrow I'm going to the VinFen banquet with all the people who are involved in the services with VinFen. Go from 6 to 9, so that's another trial. But so far, I'm looking forward to it because it's all going well so far.
Wow. Well, maybe with that as a segue, you can explain to me what you like and don't like about this.
Definitely.
So I'll try the first sentence, see if I can do it for real.
Mm-hmm.
So identify with the poet, really, or feel like I'm talking about my life. That's one of the tricks.
Okay.
Don't say, I will depart tomorrow. Even today, I am still arriving. What on earth does that mean?
You don't know?
I'm not sure. Other parts of the poem are clearer. But this is the beginning. Is he talking about his death?
Yeah, I think it's something about not being afraid of death and still living your life, not being afraid of death and being alive.
And he doesn't want to even talk about it. Don't even tell me. I'm still getting used to being here. This is like for you and for me too, in a way.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to living here. I'm no suicide for me, man. So I understand that. Okay, so why don't you read it as if it's you?
Okay. Don't say that I will depart tomorrow. Even today, I'm still arriving.
Great. And so you can begin to feel that this is about you.
Yeah.
Even today, I'm still arriving. Look deeply. Every second, I am arriving to be a bud on the spring branch. Wow, what does that mean?
Connection with nature, maybe?
And identifying. Have you ever identified with anybody or anything?
Often I'll see birds and I just get an image of my family, you know.
Oh, that you're part of the bird family?
Possibly.
Yeah, he's saying that. And not only the bird, that's what is next in this. That he's even feeling that he's arriving, so he might not have come. I'm getting to feel like I'm a bud on a tree. I can feel like I'm a little, what are they called? Those little fuzzy buds. is the thing.
Not flowers. Eh?
The memory is going.
No.
Wow, is the memory going?
I don't think that's old age. That happens to me too.
No, this is happening more. This is something I really know. These plants, and they have little fuzzy buds all over them.
I don't know plants very well.
Yes, it might have a cat in the name. I'm not sure. But every second, I'm arriving to be a bud on the spring branch. On a branch. So I once had a friend of mine tell me, Mike, go look at the bud on the tree. My friend Charles Hunt, who was departed, hi Charlie, it was his kindness to me. And it looked ugly. And I was surprised. So every second I am arriving to be a bud on a tree. I'm so identified with nature, I can be budding. Right. It goes on, is really what you're saying. To be a tiny bird. So it's not just we're watching the bird, we become the bird. Does this make any sense?
It sounds like some deep meditative powers to me. I don't think I'm there yet.
To be the bird with still fragile wings, learning to sing in my new nest. We talked about your new home.
Yeah.
Do you sing when you're in the home?
Oh yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
What do you sing? You remember?
Sometimes I just make things up. I was walking. Sometimes, every now and then, I'll come in my house and I'll just start making up a language, and just walk around, just going
Oh, that's very free.
Yeah.
We should have a brief conversation. This is an interplay which you and I do at times.
Yeah.
So this is called babbling. So we'll break this reading of the poem to babble how we feel about it so far. So we won't use words. But we can be saying stuff, but it's in babble. So I'm not going to say what I'm saying, but I'm going to say, I am Ozika's Ustalamanakastu.
Wow.
And you can say how you feel about the poem so far.
Squalab, squam bashamam.
Very interesting. Okay. Learning to sing in my new nest, which you're doing.
Yeah.
To be a caterpillar in the heart of a flower. It feels very nice. Anthony wanted us to feel it with our body. I think I could feel like a caterpillar. Begin to feel it. He says, I'm beginning to arrive. It feels very nice to be that, kind of that.
Like a comfortable bed.
Like that. Yes, that comfortable caterpillar. I love it. In the heart of a flower. I can feel myself doing it. Can you?
Yeah, now that you go into it, I wasn't thinking about how that caterpillar felt. I just sort of saw it as an image, and then feel how that caterpillar feels. Oh wow, a flower. That's really comfortable.
Yeah, I like it. The next is a little harder. To be a jewel hiding itself in a stone.
Wow.
I think I could feel like I'm this ruby-colored jewel. Wow! I've read this before, but I've never felt it. This feels very nice. Call me Rocky. Can you feel what it's like to be a jewel?
Now it makes me feel claustrophobic.
Yes, you're getting it. You're getting it. So, now in our dramatic training, as best you can, see if you can, from your own personal experience, sense that this is happening to you, and read us the second paragraph.
Sure. The one that you just read?
Yeah.
Okay. Look deeply. Every second I am arriving to be a bud on a spring branch, to be a tiny bird with still fragile wings, learning to sing in my new nest, to be a caterpillar in the heart of a flower, to be a jewel hiding itself in a stone.
Oh, so far this feels okay though, except a little claustrophobic for you.
So far, it's okay.
I still arrive in order to laugh and to cry, to fear and to hope. Gee, the rhythm of my heart is the birth and death of all that is alive. It's a pretty big statement.
Mm.
No wonder you might not like this poem. That's a little big.
Mm.
What do you feel and think?
Well, what's that bookstore down the way? 7-Star Bookstore?
Yes.
Like that?
Yes.
And I picked up this book. It was called Tao Te Ching. There's this illustrated version of the Tao Te Ching, which is ancient Chinese book, religion almost, similar to Buddhism, I think. And it just sort of had this concept, this huge concept of everything and nothing, no extremes, or sort of monotone, but at the same time as powerful as the universe.
Wow, is that a good sentence?
Yeah. So that's what that makes me think of. Just this sort of laugh and cry, fear.
Wow.
You're just sort of coasting through all those extreme emotions.
I am a mayflower metamorphosing on the surface of the river. So the mayfly, I didn't know this. I don't know this. Metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is like when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly.
Yeah.
But maybe the mayfly comes from some worm? I don't know.
Possibly.
I didn't think so.
I know not.
And I am the bird that swoops down to swallow the mayfly.
Here we get.
Yum! Yum! Mayfly for lunch. Yum, yum. Because we do that. I mean, we probably, do you eat chicken?
Yeah, I eat meat.
You eat even meat? I'm going to try again. I haven't for about 20 years.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes I eat eggs every morning, but sometimes I just hold the egg and I just think this is so weird. Just the child of a chicken.
Yes.
Strange, but
And then you eat it anyway.
yeah.
Well, maybe it gives it a big chance to become John Joshua William Oxenford.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Yeah.
It's a big jump forward from being just a chicken. So he's both the happy mayfly and the happy bird that eats it. A lot of joy around. I mean, you might have to get used to dying and being reborn. But if you're a mayfly, and then you can become a bird, that's a great leap forward.
Yeah. If you're now part of the bird.
Yes. Maybe you, or maybe become, yes, at least part, maybe you feel like you're a bird now. I'm a frog swimming happily in the clear water of a pond. Happy, happy. And I am the grass snake that silently feeds on the frog. Can you feel that?
Oh, I'm staying away from that.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Because of the snake?
Yeah.
I like it. I'm a happy snake for the moment. Gets it even harder. I am the child in Uganda, all skin and bones, my legs as thin as bamboo sticks. Is that too hard too? If this poem gets too hard, we can stop.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I guess you know.
Yeah, I read the thing.
Yeah. So you tell me when you've had enough of this poem.
Okay. Well, pretty much now, but...
Oh, no, then we'll stop.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
stop.
I love feeling both.
Yeah. And I was thinking, that concept of being reborn. I'm reading this book, Stories of the Spirit, Stories of the Heart, that you sent me. And there's this story I just finished about this young kid going through the forest and everything. Their grandmother tells them that, there's the technical mind of survival and, eat and home. And then there's the spiritual mind. And if you grow that spiritual mind, you'll be reborn to a better life in the next one.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm just beginning to discover I can do it with you now too. And you continually tell me if these things are not comfortable.
Sure.
But we've known each other for a little while now.
Yeah.
But if I I'm become aware of you the way I am now, and gently focus on you, with gentle focus, I can feel all kinds of things I have not. I'm just talking before. I was just talking to John, but now you seem to come into my body, mind, spirit, and like a great work of art. You could watch it, or great music for that matter, right? You can kind of hear a tune and just hear it. Or you could really feel it. How would you feel if I sang you a tune?
You could sing a tune.
And sang out of key? Would you walk out on me? And to really feel it. So looking at you now, I can't put into words, but I experience you way more than I have. Just and this is through the television screen. Just because we're on television, just to feel that smile, it's communicating way more than you've communicated to me before.
Wow.
When I don't know if you can feel that with me or not.
I don't. I mean, I know that I'm happy to be with you here on this show because it's, I think the first few times I was here, I feel like I had therapeutic kind of breakthrough almost, and it's just, I look forward to this now. Instead of saying, oh no, I have to go out at 7 p.m., I say, oh yes, I get to go to the show now and, just connect with you and feel those peaceful, healthy emotions, But I was meaning to ask you, how did you get to the point where you feel like you can connect with someone, you can see colors, hear music, or maybe I'm not being correct about how you sense that, but what is this sensory awareness that you're talking about?
Well, we can try now.
Sure.
So, first we've done many exercises on this show, standing up.
Yeah.
So why don't we take a few breaths and exhale with a sigh. And just look at me. You can do it through the screen, which makes it easier, I think. Just with a soft, not a hard focus, just be aware. Try a few details about me now to begin with. What details do you see?
I was just, while you were speaking, I saw a flickering image of Ian McKellen, the actor, Knight of England.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, I see gray hair. It's kind of sort of a...
Oh, gray, those were my good old days.
Yeah, it looks like a sort of a Zeus sort of
Wow.
Grecian kind of look there. Epic. Wisdom lines, there's, life experience that you've been through and all that.
And any other details you see?
No.
Not trying, just aware. Does any other detail just come to you when you're experiencing me?
One of your eyes is looking to another different direction.
Yes, wounded badly from cancer.
So sorry.
You're on the right track. And any others that even surprise you, if you just give it time and remember to breathe easily.
You have a star in your eye. You have a shining eye there.
Wow.
Yeah. You look comfortable in your coat and scarf.
Oh, you do too.
Thank you.
You look sunburned. Happily sunburned, actually, in the middle of November.
Yeah, I did not use very much sunblock this last summer.
Oh.
I feel good about it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And you have a subtle smile.
You seem to as well.
Oh, good.
You too.
Now, what was our question? I started doing this. What is this for again?
I was just wondering how you found this awareness, this sort of spiritual awareness of somebody else you're with at that time.
Oh, I'm just learning this now, though. I'm just learning. I just started teaching a class called Psychic Skills for a Soulful Life. And I was amazed just looking at the microphone on my Mac Mini screen that when I focused on it, I had never seen it before. I was really looking at it and could feel, I couldn't put words on it. It's like looking at a work of art. Feel its black metallic surface interact with me and begin to influence what I'm thinking, sensing in a new way. And I say to myself, I've never looked at this microphone before. I've never seen it the way I'm seeing it now. So I think I could do that with many things: grass, clouds, people, and let them. I think it's the who they are, both physically and energetically. Let who they are, we all have
Aura?
an energetic field around us. We could call an aura. And let that affect me. If I just say, oh, there's John, Joshua William Oxenford, I kind of label you, right? It could be a nice label because you're a nice guy. But to let myself experience how you're really affecting me now, paying attention to how you're holding your hands, so I can be aware now of you holding your hands with your fingers laced. And I can just label that, right? You're holding your hands with your fingers laced, which is true. Or I can be aware of it, especially if I'm relaxed. And it begins to, like a dream, come into my awareness and do things to me. I'm not even sure if I could tell you what. It seems to be beyond words.
Wow.
But those fingers and that harmony that they seem to work together, and that might be a little words again. I think I'm left just experiencing it underneath words. I cheated and started, and I've learned to do that, to use words to replace the experience. And your hands are still there. And I can begin to feel that and feel it in my body. Oh, now it's more real. I can feel there's peace there. There's a harmony in them working together. There's a lot of peace there. Strong. It's like a... I'm not sure I could describing it could do injustice to it. But it feels like almost the piece of a statue, the sculpture.
Thank you.
Wow. So that is the beginning of...
I think that's an amazing talent, to be so spiritually aware of someone else.
I'm learning it from last night teaching psychic skills.
That's
and
cool.
this morning.
That's cool.
And writing exercises for next. I didn't realize many people know this. You know, there's an old expression, the map is not the territory. You can make a map. I know John, living alone now, and those are all maps. They're true, like maps can be true. But I just noticed you changed your hands now, and then came back in there. If I'd let that affect me without labels, I can do the labels, you changed your hands now, and that can substitute for feeling what it's like, if that makes any sense. I'll give you another mantra that might help. The menu is not the meal. We can read a menu. We're having scallops on the menu tonight.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And you can read the menu. Oh, they're having scallops.
Yeah.
Or we can experience, especially if we order them, which is way, way different, what it's like to eat the scallops. Way different.
Definitely.
So the map is not the territory. The menu ain't the meal. Or in the Buddhist language, the finger pointing at the moon ain't the moon. And many of us live with these labels, myself included. And to go underneath them, sometimes music helps, because especially when it doesn't have words. Movies help. Paintings help. People go on silent retreats to begin to experience this. So I think I could become more spiritual if I'm aware of what's happening underneath words.
I was thinking of the subconscious the other day. And I was thinking, I have a diagnosis of schizophrenia, which for me, away from the diagnosis, away from that menu of diagnosis, it's having spiritual conversations.
Yes.
Sometimes with people there like you, sometimes people next door, sometimes people in a different country, sometimes gods, sometimes spirits, sometimes animals.
Yeah, so you're close to this.
Yeah, this has been a part of my life for a long time. Sort of one of the good parts of my mental illness or whatever it is. And at some point in my life, I felt like I realized that it was true for me that I was aware, I was speaking consciously with the subconscious mind. And other people couldn't hear the conversation that we were having. Or maybe could but felt uncomfortable to continue with that. Maybe I needed to step away from a conversation. I feel like I was connecting with them because it was disturbing their comfort zone in their conscious mind.
I will need an example of this.
Oh, I mean, millions of examples.
No, I need one.
I don't know about a specific example.
Yeah, I need one. Maybe not, but it would help me a lot if there was one.
I was reading today. I was at work, and I read my story of recovery through mental illness, and I had an audience there. That's my acting for this time. I get to say this story and work on my articulation and projection and fun stuff. It's like being on stage, instead of telling my own story. I'm my own character. And I wonder what the students are feeling and thinking. And sometimes maybe I was reading my story today and I felt like I was being boring, and I looked at a student and it seemed like they were saying no to me, like they heard me think, oh wow.
Oh wow.
So it might have been just a response from my own mind and sort of technical doctor way of saying it, or it might have been an actual communication, but someone that young, I'm not sure if I should continue on that conversation with them because they might be afraid, it might be damaging for them, so I sort of don't go into those conversations so much.
But you might hear so you feel like you might be communicating with them.
With everybody, yeah.
Yes, with everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I'm part of a therapy that is called internal family systems.
Okay.
Which means we have many voices.
Oh, cool.
We have a whole family of voices inside. And it's an endeavor to help them get along.
Huh. Interesting.
So it's not, they won't use words like schizophrenia. It's just your friend. They might say, you mean you only have two voices? You must be kidding. It's a father, a mother, a brother, a friend, divinities. So this is a more new psychology to get away from those labels, which might be helpful since they seem to be giving you drugs that help a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then there might come a time when it's important to hear the voices again and see if they're part of you, how they could help you.
I don't think it so much takes away the voices, medication. I don't think it so much takes away the voices, but it leaves me on a healthier path to healthier conversations. So I'm not having this sort of negative conversation that ends up me feeling alienated to the world and sending me on a good mental path.
And how does it do that? What would be an example of that?
Well, I mean, simple one, I have an anti-anxiety medication, and I might, if without it, at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning, going to the train, I might see someone else in the street and feel like that person's going to attack me. So maybe I'm connecting to their negative side, or my negative side is personifying them.
Yeah.
And so our negative sides are connecting, so that's stress in my morning. But if I have this medication, I don't feel that stress. I might see, it's someone else going to their job in the morning. It's nice that we get to.
Oh my! Just the nice, the more outside labels we were talking about. There's someone
Yeah.
And not being open to feeling all kinds of, I understand, all kinds of wilder experiences. Well, should we take a little peek at Dina Metzger? We have 7 more minutes.
Sure. Our story here?
Yes.
I think we're about halfway through it.
Yes.
Maybe more. I don't know where
I'm teaching this book in my psychic skills class.
Oh, cool. How's it going?
I loved it, I think, more than they did. But at least one of them is coming back. I only have 2.
Okay, I'm just going to start this paragraph if you feel like we've been here. Just
Okay.
You know. The next day, we rose at dawn to see the sunrise and went down to the canyon. We arrived at the edge. We were greeted by 2 goats who nuzzled us affectionately, their bells breaking the silence. We fed them crackers that we'd intended to eat but had forgotten about. Ordinary as the moment was, it had a miraculous quality, as if the goats were there to invite us out of ourselves back into the natural world.
Wow! So it's in some ways like what you were saying. So if she could just see the goat and hear the bells,
She's got
and then she might sense something much more. There, invite, and what she even thinks they were sent? Is that what she said?
As if the goats were there to invite us.
Oh no, not sent. They're just, because goats have feelings too. And they might have felt, oh my, let's welcome these 2 people into the canyon. And some part of you can really understand that.
A messenger of nature or something.
Yes, or themselves really.
Oh,
Just join the family.
join the goats.
Goat human family, come on. I mean, dogs do that. I mean, certainly domestic dogs and cats could do that.
It was I saw this video of deGrasse Tyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was saying, you know, you see a dog and they're happy to see you. They jump all over you. You know, you say, let's go for a walk. Oh yeah, let's go for a walk. They love it, and they live, I think, divided by 7 of our one day in their life, just based on when they die, is a week for our
Yes,
life.
they usually just live to just about 12 or so.
Yeah. So just think like the dog, you know, enjoy every moment.
Wow.
Best moment ever, you know.
And it can be both a wonderful mantra, and from the poem we were reading, as much as we got through, maybe if we can be aware and relaxed, we could begin to feel that, like in a dream, we are the dog. Well, how comforting would that be? Happy, happy, happy. Hi, John. Hi. Wow.
That's good.
Well, go on.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told your story because it helps us understand this a little better, I think. Certainly me.
Good. Thank you. Okay. Michael and I spent the day in solitude, together but not speaking. As we walked in the...
Oh, so that's also... Tell me if I'm interrupting too much. I remember you wanted me to finish.
Go ahead.
Let you finish. They somehow knew we're not going to let words get in the way of what's happening. Almost like a Buddhist retreat where people are silent.
And as we walked in the prima materia, do you know what that is?
That's kind of the basic nature.
Okay.
Primal material.
No, excellent. Of the shallow, warm river, a chant came to me with the rhythm of my steps.
Oh, see if you can sing this, man.
In the dark red body of the mother, at last.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Keep going.
No, that's the song. That's what it is. Yeah. In the dark red body of the mother at last.
Oh my, great.
That's the chant.
Wow. Oh, I can feel it. I love it.
Pretty cool. The red being the clay from the
Yep.
from the canyon.
Yep.
In the quiet body of the canyon, something in me opened, something I'd been taught to keep closed, so that learning to open it was the great mystery.
Wow. We only unfortunately have a minute and a half. Have we ever... I've done that this show. Maybe more than I ever have.
Wow.
Opening to experiencing you beyond words.
Brilliant.
John's a good, good guy, friend of Alex. Those are good words, all true. But there's way more to you than the words can describe. And I guess me too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And they're doing that with Earth too. In the dark red belly of the mother.